What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Screen Time Continuum. I am Nick, and I am joined, as always, with the gentleman. How's it going, Mike?
Going well.
Fantastic, fantastic. And we got Keelan here. What's going on, Keelan?
Not much at all. Just excited to talk about the end of the world that may not exist.
As we know it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. We're going to be wrapping up our discussion about Fallout. We've seen it all. We finally watched it. We're late. We know. We're sorry. We apologize. Please don't hurt us. We will be talking about all the spoilers and all the details that we would like to bring up with you guys and giving you a final rating at the end of this. So stay tuned, grab some popcorn, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we will be jumping right into this. Mike,
Yes,
now that
sir.
you've seen the entire series, what would you say? I guess we don't do first impressions because we did that last time. Maybe a summation of how you feel about the show.
I am turned around about it. I actually quite enjoyed it once I got through the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sold at first. You guys already know where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
But after watching the rest of it, I was like, this turned out to be pretty good. I actually enjoyed it.
Right on.
I like the idea of talking zombies. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So all the things that made it bad now kind of make more sense, except for the time skip. I still don't really get that.
Okay.
And we can get into that.
Definitely. Fair enough. Keelan, now that you have finished Fallout Season 1, what did you think of it?
Like Mike, well, I think I fairly enjoyed the first 4 episodes, and they were interesting. But I for sure enjoyed the season. But in that enjoyment, I can't say what was the most exciting part of it. I guess it was intriguing to some level, but yeah, some of my theories as well kind of got close. I don't think anything hit home per se. But from my first impressions to now, getting into the body and the weight of it all, I guess I kind of saw something similar to what happening. So I liked it. I didn't hate it.
All right. That sounds cautious. I
Right.
appreciate the caution. No problem. Yeah, I didn't dislike it at all. I thought that again, I bring back up the positives that I mentioned in the first impressions. I think it's a very good start at a world building. I think that they nailed the aesthetic of Fallout, and bringing that stuff into the live action is cool to see. It does make me hungry for more, that's for sure, especially because I consider this season kind of a setup season. In so much as that it not whole lot happens, and you end up at the end of this season feeling like, oh man, I guess I have to wait until next season to get really interested in it.
Right.
That
Especially the
aside,
way it ended.
yes, especially the way it ended. Absolutely agreed on that part. But that aside, I guess I would say that the positives still remain for me. I think that it's a great exercise in world building. I think that them bringing the video game to live action is one of the most consistent representations of that I've seen. So kudos to them on that. As far as my critiques for it, I think they remain the same. I think the story is lacking a little bit. It becomes sort of predictable. And I think that it does a disservice in sort of like trying to set up something that is supposed to be super cool in the next one. That's kind of like the Marvel model, where it's like, oh, watch this one because it sets you up for the next one.
Yeah.
But isn't that
Uh,
how series are supposed to work, though?
Well, yeah.
yeah, sometimes, but sometimes you have a passionate creator, and this kind of ties into my little presentation for you guys later on. But sometimes you have a passionate creator that creates a really interesting story in one season, and then because it's so good, they decide that they want to keep going season by season. Um, this one feels like, hey, we knew that this was going to be, the season 1 was going to be already taken care of. We already knew that it was greenlit for season 2, and so we're going to set things up in this season so that next season we can really get things cooking.
Right.
which isn't terrible. It's not a bad idea. It's just about how they kind of execute season 2, I guess.
Right, because I kind of want to
That's
see
fair.
what they do with the Knights Templars and how the Catholic Church takes over the world from here.
The Brotherhood, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
me
I'm
too.
interested to
You call
see.
them the Brotherhood, I call them Catholics. Whatever.
Yeah. Same.
I am interested also to see how that plays out, what they decide. As Moldova left with a very powerful line. For me, I could fully agree that this is a great build up. It's a great platform to leap off of. But I am wondering, could we have gotten a little bit more in season 1? What do you guys think about? I think we could have got just a little bit more in season 1, but I'm not disappointed with what we got.
Yeah, I think that if you know the video games, you kind of see where they're going to be going in the future.
it.
And so, yeah, I think we probably could have gotten a little bit more in season 1, but I think it would have circled around some more compelling elements in the story. I don't know how much more you could be shown. Maybe a death claw, maybe I don't know. Maybe a mention of the Institute would have been good. But I'm sure they're saving that because it looks like season 2 is going to be about New Vegas and Mr. House and all of that stuff. So
I don't know
maybe
what any of that means.
right.
Is
If
it-
you've played Fallout
played
New
with people?
Vegas.
I
Yeah,
have not.
Fallout. Right. See, well there you go. That was the teaser at the end, is that,
Yeah, New Vegas.
New Vegas and a computer AI software named Mr. House runs New Vegas.
Okay.
Mhm.
And it's funny you say that because we saw a robot through the AI personality
Mhm.
in Snip Snip, and then at the end of this season we meet another AI personality in Vault 31.
Yes, the brain in
Yes.
the jar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's funny. I actually re-downloaded Fallout 4 just to play it again.
It's funny. I did the same thing, and then I put it down. I put it down after 10 minutes.
You know what? Immediately I started cheating again. I was like, yeah, this is why I can't play this.
Right.
Shame
Yeah.
on the two of you.
I know. Yeah, they really need to come out with a new Fallout. Hopefully.
You know what? It's not bad. I mean, I get it. I'm not gonna pretend like I don't get a hankering for the first person kind of shooter kind of thing that Fallout is. But it's
Mhm.
kind of like for me. It's more like futuristic Skyrim.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the problem with it, which we also said about Starfield, but this was I'll say Fallout was probably a better execution of that. But the only thing I don't like is that everything is you can interact with just about everything in Fallout, just like in Skyrim.
Mhm.
I don't need you to be able to let me pick up miscellaneous cups that I can't do anything with.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like that does waste a lot of the engine, the game engine.
Just
That's for sure.
to pick up things that are absolutely useless.
I
Yeah.
mean, doesn't it remind you of where we're headed at today? Just the real world experience.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cup Simulator coming soon.
we got power wash simulators, so I mean,
Definitely have power wash simulators.
yeah. My favorite
guys
still
are
The craziest thing to me still.
my favorite is still a goat simulator.
I was just about to say that. Have you played Goat Simulator 3?
Yes,
3.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. It's on Game Pass, Keelan. You can watch
it
play
is.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
it's great.
I have to look into that.
I
It's a
still
fun
don't
one.
understand what the hell you're supposed to do.
I don't think you're
Anyway.
supposed to know. I think you're just supposed to be a goat. Yeah.
Be a goat
Uh,
that sticks to stuff with their tongue.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Eat cans, ram stuff.
Fly around on rockets. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Well, speaking of rockets, let's get back into the show. I don't know, we don't need to go beat by beat here, but is there any highlights that you guys wanted to bring up in the last half of this that you really
Well-
liked or didn't like? What's going on?
How is he 200 years old?
The dad?
I get why everybody else was frozen in the cryogenic tubes. I get how they time skip. I get that.
Right.
But how is
The ghoul.
right? How is he 200 years old? Even if he's taking this medication that probably didn't exist 200 years ago, but I guess it did, is that keeping him alive, or is it just keeping him from going berserk?
I think it's keeping him human. Yeah.
It
But
allows
yes,
him to keep his brain or some form of himself still intact, other than just, like clearly they forget the
Man, he
name
got
at a certain
gunslinger.
point. Yeah,
He
he's a
got motor
gunslinger.
functions.
I get you, but if his mind goes, then what good is that?
Man, he got motor functions. He got hand-eye coordination. He can shoot the flies off a wing, bro.
yeah, and he
That-
can
that-
get shot a whole bunch of times and it's fine.
It's fine. He's the
Right.
immortal. Nothing.
He basically playing Fallout on God mode.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah. Keep
As
that in
long as he don't
mind.
get shot in the head, he good.
Yeah, keep that in mind in our in my presentation, that line you just said.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so it is still a mystery as to why the ghoul has been able to survive this whole time. But what is not a mystery is that he believes that his family is being cryo frozen.
I mean, that makes sense.
It does. But do we see the wife take the kid to the cryo chamber? No.
No,
I
I
think
don't
it's just
think so.
implied. It's just implied that that's where they
Well,
went.
because she was apparently she's a top demon in the whole cabal.
Yes.
Well, not exactly. She becomes
Uh,
they called it a feral ghoul.
No. I'm talking about the ghoul's wife. She becomes a top demon in the cabal because she's basically we need to go ahead and blow up the world so we can make this work. Like what?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
hmm Yeah.
Not
she's
not the other one's not the other one's mom who gets turned into a ghoul. And that was a
Lucy.
tragedy.
Lucy's mom.
Yeah, Rose.
Uh-huh.
Got it. I remember now.
Yeah. The ghoul's wife is the head or one of the heads of Vault Tech, and they're creating this concocted plan about how, in order for them to sell their vaults, they need to have a nuclear apocalypse, and because the nuclear apocalypse isn't coming, they decide that they're going to take it into their hands and start it so that they could sell their vaults.
That's crazy to me.
Did I miss it? Did you say cabal-like meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, making sure that was said.
Oh yeah, because it is like a cartel. It's not just Vault Tech; it's all the other ones.
Right.
All
It's
the
the
other
heads of
big-
all the five families. I mean,
The five family, yeah.
I mean,
The five
essentially,
corporations. Yeah.
right.
what
Yeah.
what was dope, well, not dope, was consistent for me about that I liked was it kind of reflects on the fact that we've already seen Vault 4 and the difference between, say, Vault 4 and Vault 32, 33, and 30. Well, 32 and 30, just 33.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
Vault 4 is with the Cyclops, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, you got to keep in mind that when in the final episode, she was talking about how each corporation would be able to get a certain number of vaults to do their own experiments on human survivability.
Yep.
So
It was all
not
a
only
game.
did you right, not only do you have the regular people who are going to survive, but now you can do whatever you want with all your vault people,
Yeah,
Mhm.
slavery.
and you can tell them basically whatever you want to tell them, just to see how they would survive. And it's like, well, what's the purpose of that? What do
create
you
the
possibly get
future-
from it?
Well, to create the future society of tomorrow, but I guess that what that implies is that they're going to have to nuke the ground level again to get rid of all the people up there, right?
Well, clearly they already willing to do that.
Yes.
They're definitely willing. But
Definitely.
Well, I mean, because they blew up the other city after the nuclear fallout.
Right.
well, yeah, because then you could just use it as an excuse of bombs falling from the sky.
Well, that's what they did to get his daughter back. He blew up what is it called? New Sands?
I think so.
What's the
Yeah,
name of
I
that
forget.
city? Keelan?
Shady Sands.
Shady
Sands.
Sands.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
He blew that place up because they were just prospering.
Yeah,
They were
they were
actually
doing too
prospering.
well without the dependency, and he didn't want the secret to get out. Hank didn't want the secret to get out, and he basically in Vault Tech ended up losing all of their profit and all of the plausibility of making money, and he was already guaranteed to survive the long haul, so it didn't matter to him.
Diabolical.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, it was
Diabolical.
something else that went along with that though. It's that and
The Cold Fusion.
no, before we even get to Code Fusion, but just some things that don't like they add up, but it's like, wow, that's what we doing. That's what we doing.
I mean, the Brotherhood is. I don't know. Where was? I have a question. Maybe you can answer this, Nick. Where
Yeah.
was the doctor from when he found dog meat, or when he was training dog meat?
It looks like it was a part of not the Brotherhood, but the continuation government, not the Institute. That's the other guys. What the hell is their name? It's mentioned in the show just briefly. Shoot, I'm so sorry, guys. I totally forgot. Fallout.
I mean, clearly we did too. You're not here alone.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really familiar with most of the universe, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see. There's shoot. There's the Institute, the Enclave. Sorry about that. That took me a million years to figure out. The Enclave is like the Enclave is like the last semblance of the American government. So it could be that he was working for the Enclave and training dogs, and also apparently working on Cold Fusion. And the Brotherhood is sworn to destroy the Enclave because they still have technology that the Brotherhood doesn't want to allow to propagate.
So what is do you know the main motivation of the Brotherhood? I mean, the Catholics.
Seek and destroy.
Yeah, pretty much seek and destroy. Their idea is that they're the only ones that should be allowed to have the power of technology, and they'll use it as they're kind of like they're kind of like fascist crusaders.
Techno witch.
Yeah, techno crusaders that are that want to take away the relics. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking technology, but witch, so they can go out and burn people and cut them down because they're witches or heretics.
They're talking about music techno. I'm over here like a witch that goes. I'm there.
No,
and of course, I really just wanted to for no reason.
Right. Everybody does.
Wrong with a good
right. Anything else that you guys wanted to talk about? The storyline for Lucy. She finally finds her father. How did you guys like that?
This whole thing has like just hot bits and hot points. I'm sitting here like every time we are reading through something, like, okay, let me see which part of this we're gonna talk about.
Mm-hmm.
What I see, I'll go all the way back to episode 5. How Lucy and Maximus meet was kind of like.
You mean like episode 2?
No, how Lucy and Maximus meet.
Yeah, that was what, episode 2?
I'm sorry, not meet, but I'm sorry when they see each other again. Sorry, they did meet already. But when she saves him from being stuck in the suit, because remember, so do you guys think it was? That's what I was trying to remember how we got to that. Do you guys think it was a good idea for Maximus to tell Thaddeus after they had that experience who he really was? Or should he have kept faking like he was Knight Titus in there?
I don't really think it matters. I think Maximus is kind of all over the place. He becomes, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure you guys
exactly who I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys saw the delineation between the characters. Like he changes character as soon as Lucy comes into the picture.
Right.
So at the beginning, he's a shrewd sort of Machiavellian guy that really only wants the suit, and that's about it. And then all of a sudden, Lucy comes in, and he's Finn from Star Wars, shouting Rey,
Right. Lucy.
Yeah, he just becomes like an ineffective sort of like comic relief guy for a little while.
I think he's my least favorite character.
Yeah.
Well, and so that's really quick.
I don't like Lucy either, though.
Fair. This is why I asked about the Maximus thing, because he tells That is the truth. That's really the last time he tells the truth until the whole discussion he and Lucy have about moving in together. But even when he gets back to the Brotherhood, he kind of keeps up this facade of, who he is and what he really is done. Like, no, but he kind of doesn't care. They're kind of putting two together fast. They know that Maximus isn't a good-hearted person, but we also find out that he didn't cut his friend with the razors, right? So
that was odd too.
Wait, say that again?
That he didn't plant the razors in his friend's boot.
mhm.
No, she said she did that
He
to
did that
herself
Right, but why? Well, okay, so
because she said she was afraid to go out into the world.
Right, but
I
it's
don't
the hot
know.
and cold of you keep giving Maximus these opportunities to be painted as this terribly negative person, only for at the end you to basically make him exactly what he was told he was going to be, the sword for the new Brotherhood.
Yeah,
And
it
especially
was.
being as he's slaying the opposition's leader, he's definitely going to be appointed to high warlord, whatever the heck you want to call it.
It kind of almost makes me feel like I guess maybe they were trying to make the audience think that Maximus did it, but it didn't work well that way because it was pretty obvious that he didn't do it at the beginning. And then when the friend is like, "Oh no, I did it to myself," that feels like it was a sort of like a rewrite almost. It
Right.
almost feels like they wanted Maximus to be the one to plant the razor blades in the friend's boot, but then like standards and practices looked it over and said you can't do that. For whatever reason, I don't know, but it just because it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense
It
for
doesn't
you.
flow well.
It doesn't flow well at all. It makes no sense because the way it's presented now, it's like, oh, you want the audience to believe in the first few episodes that Maximus did something so terrible like that, and that he's just scrounging for power. But then, as soon as like episode 5 hits, he's this completely different person. Absolutely different person with no real understanding of, was that a change or was he always that good of a person?
Well, and that's kind of what I'm getting, what exactly leading me back. Right, because that takes me to what I was saying in episode 1, our first impressions of this, and kind of what happens. The Brotherhood clearly promotes asshats, like people who don't have the best heart.
Yeah.
Maximus does develop a conscience, but it's the assumption that before that he had no one that gets him put in the position he was in to end up getting the credit of killing Moldova.
The only thing about him that I'm curious about is what made him get into the refrigerator.
He saw Indiana Jones 4. He said, if it worked for Indy, it'll work for me.
Right.
I mean, yeah, he needed that nostalgic thing, his comfort, I guess. That was like a comfort space.
Yeah. It could be also an in-universe thing where like they started ramping up the nuclear war drama in the Fallout universe so much that they had lead-lined refrigerators, so like as a last resort for people to jump into if the nukes came off.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You can fit one kid.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yep.
Let's see.
So you said Mike said he didn't like Lucy. Why?
She just didn't seem like a genuine character to me, just like Maximus doesn't.
Right.
I mean, she grows up in this what you call it? This what's the phrase you used last week?
A facade.
Well, yeah, but no, that's not that's not the word. The phrase. It was this. Man, Stepford Society.
Oh yes, right there. Yeah, definitely.
And everybody's so super nice, and then all of a sudden she decides she wants to go out and explore. Yeah. And then when she gets a little taste of it, she can't get enough because her drive to go save her dad is so strong. Nobody in their whole society is like this.
Nope, just her.
That's true.
Just her. Even the brother's not really like that. He's like, nah, that ain't for me.
She'd go get her.
Now, I do find him to be an interesting character, though.
Okay.
The fact that
yeah.
Well, because he's got a dark side that they're foreshadowing that I do approve of. They should have foreshadowed his dark side like they did Maximus. I think they tried but failed at it, because with his dark side, you're pretty sure he poisoned those guys. Pretty sure. And I'm okay with that. But
He
with
poisoned
Maximus,
who? The Overlord or whatever?
no, he poisoned those prisoners, remember?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Right.
Norm.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Norm.
I'm pretty sure he poisoned those prisoners, and they deserved it. They
Right.
don't deserve to survive, and then to siphon off more of their resources.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm curious as to why the water supply is being purposefully tampered with. That's an interesting concept.
It might be to run the cryogenics.
That probably is it.
Yeah.
But that's not in the same vault. No, wait, no, because that's in Vault 31.
Yeah, they might all share the same sort of like water
lineage.
system. Yeah.
So
I think they do share a similar water system, but the question will be, where's the clean water coming from? Because they're not necessarily having to recycle it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are ways to recycle water.
I don't know.
Sure there are. Yeah. Bear Grylls knows all about that.
Right. Once you release it back into the wild, you can still use that.
You just got to pull that right back.
You just got to take the ammonia smell out of it.
Yeah.
Let's see. They use it. This still has a lot of funny moments too, like them using a sword to cut Norm's bracelets off, with a rope from around his neck, his hands. Chet.
Oh, you mean in Vault 4?
Yeah.
With the Cyclops. That was Lucy. Right.
Huh?
That was Lucy.
What was Lucy?
They were cutting Lucy's bondage, her ropes.
Yes, because her punishment was going back to the surface.
And she was like, "Oh, well, yeah, that's what I wanted anyway."
Yeah. I do like that they were like, "Oh my god, it's the worst thing in the world."
Right. But it does propagate that the people inside the vaults are still typically pretty decent people.
Yes.
Well, even though they had the one doctor doing experiments on people, which I didn't quite understand. If maybe I saw that wrong. Was he helping people, or was he doing nefarious?
No, so that was essentially the same thing as what was discussed with the difference of the vault. So when you see the Cabal meeting, right? Remember, they have everybody, and it's like every company gets their own set of vaults to do with as they please. And we saw that in Vault number 4, whomever either owned number 4 or owned the cluster that number 4 is a part of, they allowed
scientists to run
experiments, and because they were trying to make mutants. They were trying to make superhumans. What one of the Cabal members actually said, they were trying to make superhumans.
Yes.
That's
which results in the super mutants in the video game.
Yeah, I remember. I was just recalling that I had to kill a couple of those recently.
Right.
Yeah. Before I started to cheat.
Before you turned all the mods on. I have like 12 mods running on it.
I don't need these achievements.
No, forget it. Yeah, I played the vanilla version already. Okay. Yeah. So we did the ghoul is still looking for his family, and he's also looking for the head. And we find out that the head has the chip, and the chip is cold fusion.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that the ghoul's going to kill his wife, or just reunite his family?
I think he just wants his daughter. I think he's probably pissed at his wife for taking his daughter away.
Right.
We don't know what happens, but we have to think that the wife wanted to get into the vault, and he probably didn't.
Right, but I'm thinking 200 years of grudge.
Are we thinking that killing his wife and getting his daughter back are exclusively not the same thing?
No, I think he might do that. Yeah, it's possible he could do that. Yeah.
I mean, if he been around the whole 200 years that she been in the vault, he definitely had a lot of time to think about how much he mad.
That's definitely been how that's going down. I'm just curious. I'm not gonna lie. I was curious as if she got remarried, since they're all about repopulation.
Ooh.
Well, so
No,
here's
because
the
she's frozen, so I doubt it.
yes, right.
Is she? Maybe she
It,
out. You know what? So
right.
here's a theory I had really quick.
Mhm.
We don't know if she's asleep because we don't know who's running this new city. I'm thinking in California was what was that? The secretary and the runner,
Mhm.
and in New Vegas that could be where all of the big dogs is because even Hank McNeil, and we later find out Betty is also one of the old sages of 31. They were all thawed out, but we don't know. Like we know that they aren't as high as his wife Barb.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. It's possible that she got thawed out and she and her daughter got thawed out, and you might see a situation where like it's not the wife is dead and the daughter is like 50 or 60. Um it just depends. They could still be thawed, but then that wouldn't make sense as to why the ghoul is trying to go to New Vegas just to be told that his family's back at the cryo vault. Um, so it's possible that maybe the wife got thawed out and then put in New Vegas as a power player there or something like that.
Yeah,
So
it's possible.
do we think
Unless
that
he's being laid on a goose chase.
Yeah.
well since Vault 33 is in California, that's our understanding, or is Vault 33 in Vegas?
No, 33 is in California for sure.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Vegas ain't that far away from here.
No. No.
So, I was wondering if Vault 31 had the cryo tubes in it, because it did. Was Hank headed to that vault, or was he headed to New Vegas?
Well, it looked like Hank is the dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he ends up at the edge of New Vegas, so it's definitely he's in New Vegas and he left the vault behind. And it's
So
probably
this is how far he could travel on foot with that machine on.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, as long as there's power in the core, which is supposed to be pretty much eternal, since it's
Fusion. Yeah.
it's a fusion core, they don't run out of power.
No.
He should be able to comfortably walk there, because I think those suits are air conditioned and everything, right?
Yeah, they
I
should.
don't know.
Temperature controlled, I should say.
Yeah, he can also fly there because they have jetpacks. So
Right.
yeah. He ends up at the edge of New Vegas, and it's probably because he wants to go see Mr. House. Mr. House is probably a giant player in all of this. And it's possible that Mr. House was one of the people at the meeting of the Cabal. I think it's the guy with the thin mustache, the Italian looking dude.
The Robo guy.
Yeah, yeah. Because Mr. House Mr. House kind of looks like that. So it might be him that was in Vegas and thought, because in the game, Mr. House is a computer program, but there's an actual body that's in like a kind of like a stasis chamber that is his body. So it's
So
possible
his mind is aware and doing
Yes.
things as an AI, but he still has a body available to him when it's time.
Yeah, but it's all frail and decrepit. So it's it's kind of like a thing that he keeps hidden because it's like the picture of Dorian Gray, right? Yeah.
Got you. But I was over here trying to put it together. Like, okay, so his brain, we see it, but it's possible he still has a body, which I can see that being a thing. I was really over here trying to follow y'all on that one.
Yeah, he kind of
the whole
uploads.
time listening. I'm like,
Yeah,
Well, if he downloads his brain into the computer, then
Yes.
he can switch it back and forth.
Yes.
Because our brain is nothing but the Matrix, and then I'm gonna stop right there because you understand.
You're right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so
what
we
are
got
we
Lucy
implanting
down.
and putting out?
The cold
Sorry.
fusion thing, right? So now there's this unlimited energy that gets turned on in the wasteland of Los Angeles. My feeling is that is going to trigger the Institute to come and investigate.
How far does that power reach? I mean, if it's cold fusion, I would think that power the whole country, wouldn't it?
I mean, you would think so. Yeah, it should. It
So
certainly
I mean,
should.
as long as you're tapped into the original grid to some degree, everybody's got power. Heck, it might even cross the ocean.
Yes, and the Institute would definitely want to make sure they shut that power off because they don't want to they don't want the above, the surface world having that much energy.
That information. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too late. It's there. What you gonna do? Turn it
They'll-
off?
Maybe they'll try to turn it off. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think you could turn on cold fusion. And that's what I was saying a minute ago about even when it came to Maximus and the whole that I don't think I said it. I'm sorry. I think I was thinking it, waiting to say it. But think about Maximus, the Brotherhood, all these new ideals that really weren't ideals to him. They were just actions. And now he's been given all this power because he took power and he did this, and they get promoted really strangely through the ranks over there.
Right. They're kind of like Sith in a way, where it's like when you do bad things, it's not necessarily discipline. It could be a reward for doing bad things. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Let's see that. But yeah, I say that because that made me think. It made me think that I just lost 2 trains of thoughts within a 3-minute span.
Choo-choo. Well, Lucy gets reunited with her father at the Griffith Observatory, right? And we find out who, what's her name is? Not Delgado.
Maldeva.
Maldeva. There you go. Maldeva is somebody who's been savvy. She was also frozen, I guess. And she's from back in the day when she realized the evil of all the corporations. And she's been a resistance fighter ever since. And then she gets shot, right?
Yeah, she ended up getting shot by Maximus. No. She ended up getting shot and walking into the, what would we call that? Her office?
Yeah, I guess you could.
Yeah, he got shot coming into her office when the Brotherhood finally attacked the observatory, the Griffith Observatory.
Yep. But her whole mission was to try to give free energy back to the wasteland, which she succeeds in. She inserts the cold fusion chip, and then the lights start to come on. So she kind of closes her storyline there and fulfills her destiny.
I'm gonna go ahead and address the elephant in the room on that whole situation.
Here we go.
So, was Maldeva and Rose in a thing? Is that what this really was about? She left him to be with a woman, and they were happy raising their daughter, and then he found out, couldn't handle it, and had to blow up the whole place.
That's a good question. It could have been that. Yeah. I don't know if they, I guess you could probably interpret it that way. Maybe. Because Lucy's mother does leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she found out that he was hiding things from her.
Right.
He didn't like it. And then she ended up in Shady Sands. And that's where she meets Maldava. And they're looking at each other longingly and stuff.
And things. Yeah.
And
she's kept her as a ghoul this whole time.
Right. That's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, the fact that she wouldn't let a ghoul go, she's just sitting there watching everything.
So I mean, first.
Yeah, it's possible that's what it was. Yeah.
Because you asked us last week, did we think that this was a woke production?
Oh yeah, I did.
That was a question. Yeah.
And I pointed out many things in just those first 2 episodes that made me absolutely. And then now we got what we got with the rest of it.
It's all exactly that, basically.
Oh, they're getting much more subtle. See, they're learning, which I find interesting. The messaging is evolving. So I don't know if you caught this, but there was a moment when the Cabal was meeting each other, and they're talking about all of the things that they could do that, to the Vault Dwellers that's evil. And one of the ladies says, we can separate children from their families.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, obviously. Obviously, we know what that was a reference to.
Grooming.
One of the statements she made was only the smartest children will survive until adulthood, or will make it to adulthood.
Right.
Yeah, but that also talks about, that's been the political talking point about the border for the past 8 years, right? the separation of children from their families.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah, so
absolutely.
these things you pick up now, they're much more subtle than they used to be. So it tells me that they're learning how to nestle it a little bit better.
They're getting into your subconscious. Boy, if you can't
That's
see them,
right.
it's there. They talking to you a different way now.
Yep.
Well, they got to, because people are outright avoiding anything that even sounds woke.
Yes.
Disney has lost how many billions trying to be woke and just won't learn, just refuse,
Yeah. Pretty much.
just refuse.
Flat out refuse. Yeah.
Oh,
They're gonna do it their way.
hey,
Yeah.
just as a side note, they are making a Steamboat Willie horror movie.
I did hear that. Yeah. Is it good? Do you think it's going to be as bad as the Blood and Honey movie?
They're making a sequel to it.
Yes.
They're making Blood and Honey too.
Yes.
Oh my God. Why?
So that you can know what's due with your honey and blood.
Oh my God. That is
So
awful.
you know we gotta watch it, right?
Oh, we're definitely watching it. Oh yeah. That's definitely happening. Holy
You're welcome.
moly.
But I can introduce something so magnificently terrible
Yeah.
to watch twice.
Thanks.
Watch the
Thanks,
sequel.
Keelan. Yeah, you're the best.
But yeah, no, what Maldeva tells her that's her dad, she ended up killing her because I wouldn't even call it a tussle. It was more just like carelessness with their weapons and sick people,
Yeah.
as well as
That whole part
this
was
is how it's getting
shenanigans.
to, huh?
That whole part was shenanigans.
The whole ending was kind of shenanigans because we get back to Maximus and the new Brotherhood and the Elder Cleric Quintus telling him that he'll be, his left hand or whatever, something like that.
Right.
And at that exact same time is when at that exact same time is when we realize like everything above ground is the same as underground. It's just a difference of where they're at. But again, full closure on who we expect Maximus to be, and then at the very end, you get him and Dane. And they're basically she's like, "Oh yeah, all hell, Knight Maximus," and he's like, "No." It's like now you're taking it. You have to take it essentially because if you run from it, you're dead. I'm excited to see where they go with season 2 on that because, Maximus just maybe I don't know if he didn't have enough or if he was just intentionally born as hell.
Yeah, I don't know if they knew what to do with this character. I think what they did was they knew they needed to make him a sympathetic, likable character, but they
Needed a villain.
Yeah, they originally wrote him as a villain. And so that switch over just feels weird because it feels like he saw a white girl and then became all cool. You know what I mean?
We still say they the kryptonite.
Like jury is out to lunch.
Oh man. Yikes. Well,
I mean, I don't make up the rules, man.
I know you don't. You're just keeping tally. That's all.
That's it.
Well, anything else about this you wanted to bring up?
So we talked about the secretary, who Barb really is, who Betty really is. We haven't found Barb. He gets his promotion essentially. Maldeva essentially sacrifices herself for the betterment of the world, given the surface lights. The Ghoul and Lucy are out on a tit for tat kind of a thing because we did cover how Lucy found out Lucy found out that her dad is from the origin of all of this.
Yeah.
And but nobody except Coop knows about that big conversation that we saw.
Right. Well, so far, because he might have told Moldova, so she might have known about it because she gave him the earpiece.
So it don't matter.
Well,
no, I doubt she told him. Well, maybe, back then. You're right.
Originally, when Coop was eavesdropping on his wife, and he found out that she was the big bad devil, he might end up telling her at some point. So that's how she ends up being able to survive as well.
Yeah,
that's just speculation.
Her distance.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Because I mean, I couldn't imagine finding out my wife was like, "Yeah, we need to blow up the world." What?
Well,
who am I sleeping next to?
Who are you?
Well, her justification is it's going to happen anyway, so I might as well make sure my family is good.
That is not it, because it was almost crisis averted, and she was like, "Well, we need to do this
That's true.
so we don't lose no money." It's like, wait
That's
a
true.
minute, wait a damn minute.
You're not
They-
wrong.
You know what? And because my brain worked the way it worked, it's just another black woman in the in some kind of power position, making us all look bad again. Damn, you're
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Dang.
Even in our movies and TV, huh? Even
Right.
in our movies and TV.
Consistency.
man. Look.
Oh boy. Yeah.
So
I'm not even gonna open that a can of worms all the way. I just gonna peel it back just a little bit, and we're gonna leave it at that.
well, let's
Let
see
the
if
algorithm.
You get a little whiff of it. Yeah. All right. Well, anything else,
let's see,
guys?
whatever.
Anything else?
I was still over here going over my checklist real quick in my head. I know we know that Bud's brain, the Knights kill everybody. Oh, yo, how did the ghoul get inside the bunker? Hold on, we gotta talk about that.
What
What do you
bunker?
mean? Which one?
How he got inside the bunker and
He walked in.
like but he was over in the tuck. He wasn't like right out in the open. He was sitting there waiting on him essentially.
Well,
And
he
so-
confronted the Brotherhood of Steel. He knew the flaws of their armor that they didn't even really know. So he was able to just take them out head on.
That's
He
true.
and he let it be known. Like I wonder if that same weak spot's still there from when I used it right under the chest plate.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he exploited it. And then he kind of just infiltrated the base from that point.
He's
Right.
also
Right in the
playing.
front door.
He's also
Within
playing
that,
the game on God mode. So there
There you go.
Within that, I could almost assume that Maldava and Coop didn't get along in this era. Do you think he could have been the one to shot her and not the Brotherhood?
No. I don't think he would hold a grudge against her. From what we know right now, I don't think that there's any reason for him to hold a grudge against her, because she didn't do anything but try to help him figure out the people that his wife worked for was pieces of crap.
Yeah.
He just didn't know how deep his wife was involved.
Yeah.
So if anything, I think he would have somewhat of gratitude for at least knowing who his wife really was. But then again, that could go bad too. He could hold her. He could blame her
be a
for
thing
it.
already. Right. That could be in there already. They just didn't put it in this season.
Right.
Yeah. And Moldova was trying to stop all of it at the beginning too. So
right.
You know, like
she was the communist.
Yes, the communist. Yeah.
She lived in a commune.
Of course. I mean, the communists are going to save everybody, guys, from the fascist corporatists. You got to be careful. Yeah. Come on. We all know that's true.
I hate when you start making my brain work.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Anything else? We got more?
No. Let's see that
ready?
He killed all of them. She gets back. Oh,
I liked it. That's all I got. I did end up liking it.
Okay.
I did like it. I'm trying to think. There was something in the discussion that Lucy had, the last one she had with her dad. And I can't really put my finger on what it was. The question I had. Well, it's more of a question for you guys than about how you feel about the episode itself. But finding out that your dad is 200 years older and was older than your mom, and you're basically a test tube baby, because they don't say where these people are coming from. Like some of them are bred, but who did they breed with? Because it doesn't say his mom. Her mom came from 31. Her mom was kind of bred in the pod by someone before him. And
I think it's also
each other cousins.
I think it's also presumptuous for Lucy to say that he was complicit in blowing up the world, because we all know like who the people were. Was he in the Cabal meeting or no?
No, he wasn't in that meeting. He was an errand boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't blow up the world. He blew up Shady Sands.
He blew up Shady Sands, though.
He blew up Shady Sands, right.
Yeah, it's just that's where her boyfriend from, and that's his origin story. So she had to be able to put a pinpoint in that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because when he find her dad, his T60 gonna be protected in that one little spot they know about, because he know about it now.
Oh yeah, fair enough. That's true, huh? Hopefully that's a good continuity right there.
And Lucy can't kill him, even though she really, really wants to.
I don't know why she really wants to be honest.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it doesn't make any sense. Like he got kidnapped, and then she had to go and find out all of this information that she probably wouldn't have known.
Well, probably because he blew up her mom.
Yeah,
I guess
That's the closest you can really get to that. I
that's
mean,
all that was.
if somebody blew up your mom and turned her into a rotting corpse that was still
Knock on wood,
functioning
yeah.
and moving, you might feel some kind of way.
I suppose. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair
Yeah, you
enough.
definitely, you could
Mhm.
definitely feel some kind of way. Yeah, I'll tell you the way. All right. You know,
I mean,
yeah, you're definitely gonna feel.
I mean,
something.
but that means that you're going after the one parent you got left. Do you want to orphan yourself?
Fair.
Yeah, right. I guess
I
not.
would.
I,
I
yeah,
wouldn't want to orphan myself. I'd be mad at you. I might not speak to you for a while, but I mean, you're the only one I got left, bro.
yeah, and you would think that after this entire journey of realizing how complex and nuanced everything is, that you might forward that understanding towards your dad, but I guess not.
Right. Hey, man.
Look, maybe we don't know how old she is. Maybe she hasn't hit that age of maturity yet. It might
Maybe.
happen in 2 or 3.
I mean, she old enough to be practicing with her cousin.
Yikes.
Oh man, why I bring that back up?
Yep. All right.
Because it's relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And then she casually offered to have a shag with her boyfriend, and he's
Virgin.
a little. I got bad words I want to say that I'm not gonna say.
Call him a virgin. It's okay. I don't think that's insulting. If it is,
I wasn't gonna say the V. I wasn't gonna call him a V. I was gonna call him some other things.
No, I know.
Mm.
I figure. I'm
But
telling you, I was there with you. I've changed. I settled on virgin.
and sometimes with your cock, it just kind of pops. It's like, what? Holy crap!
I feel like bags of sand.
What are we talking about here, people?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's rate this thing, guys. I don't know. Final thoughts, ratings.
I'll go first. I give it a 5.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna give it about a 5. I didn't hate it. I did enjoy it a little bit more than I disliked a lot of the stuff that I mentioned before. But you know, it is what it is. It's about average, so about a 5.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm not giving the in-depth analysis on this.
Yeah.
There's cousin sex.
Well, for me, aside from that part, because I'm not judging that part in any way, I don't want it on my paper. Yeah, there's a lot of elements that make me excited or make me looking forward to season 2, especially like all the things at the end. Like they really put you, I wouldn't even say they left you on a cliffhanger, but they really ended the chapter here and didn't finish writing the book quite yet. So we're waiting to see what the next pages look like. Even if it's just a draft. If the draft is good enough, you know how that goes with a good book, you're gonna buy the sequel. But overall, I mean, everything for the sports, everything for why did I just say sports?
I was
don't
wondering
know,
where
man.
you were
What's
going
going
with that.
on,
Like, wait a
bro?
minute.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
Did you fall asleep for a second?
Yeah.
No. Not everything for the sports. So everything for the ghouls, everything for the brotherhood, it all kind of just looks like at some point it's gonna clash together when you get to the time of what all the different companies are doing, because we are now learning, like I thought Ellis was going to be in California. It looks like we're going to end up in Nevada now. So they've split amongst major cities probably. So we might end up in New York at some point. We might end up on the other side of the country over in Florida or down in Texas. I am interested now that they're going to Vegas to know what is the next city after that. Like what? Now I'm already thinking about season 3, honestly. But they wrapped up a lot and started a lot, left us on a short cliffhanger. They didn't like drag out some long overdue plot and then not give us the joy and the information at the end, at least, to bring most of it some closure. Even down to Rose killing her own mom. So
That makes sense.
left for her mom. Yeah, it made perfect sense. She put her out of her misery.
All right.
But with that being said, I would give this a 7.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Keelan. I think this is probably a 7 as well. I like the world building. I like some of the styling. I think aesthetically it's good. I think where it falls short for me is sort of in the story and some of it being a little bit predictable and not really giving us enough of a season 1 for me to be like, "Wow, that really knocked my socks off." And
Mhm.
sort of baiting us with a season 2 that might promise some more interesting things. So that's a little bit of a negative for me, but I liked it. I thought it was cool. Music was good. Cinematography was nice. The visual effects look great. World building is fun. The acting is decent. Some of the characters are a little bit hit and miss. But yeah, I think it's a 7. I think, you know,
Yeah,
that's pretty
yeah,
We
good.
and
needed more.
I
We
guess I'll
needed
say
more
that.
rad roaches.
More rad roaches, yes.
I'll
Would
say
you guys
that.
vamp for 1 second? I'll be right back.
I hope that we get more characters in season 2. I'm not sorry. Yeah, we're gonna get new characters in season 2, but I'm hoping that we get new animals and new insects, things like that, because we only got what, a salamander, a roach, and a bear in this one. In an
Right.
irradiated society,
We need a death.
everything should
What
be.
is a death claw?
I'm not saying that. Not sure
That's
why
what
you
it
think.
was. You don't want a death claw?
Wait, so what's a death claw?
A giant dinosaur raptor looking creature, some kind of irradiated predator.
Did I miss that in the show?
Uh, it's not in the show. It's
It's
in
in
the
the
game.
game. Got it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we
you
need
Yeah,
guys
there
some
got
of
was a
me
that.
deep over
skeleton,
here.
right?
Huh?
There was a Deathclaw skeleton though at some point, right?
Was it?
Oh, right at the end.
I think
I guess
so.
that would be with the horns.
What's that?
Is that the thing with the horns?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, that was right at the
Yeah.
end. In fact,
Right
that's
at
so I
the
guess
end.
we'll see one of those in Vegas. So that
Probably.
explains why Mike said what he said. I follow now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need a death claw.
Mm-hmm.
We need more grizzly bears.
Super mutants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We got plenty of those in Vault 4.
Yeah, true. Fair enough.
Yeah, I feel like they have a
Okay.
lot of different
Well,
stuff.
I think
What is that? What is
we're
that salamander called? A Quixoquatl that just supposed to
yeah.
smile, but it's all irradiated.
Oh, an oxalotl.
Axolotl. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that is what that
Mhm.
was. That was an
Yeah,
axolotl. Was not a
it's supposed to be
salamander.
shooting smile at you, but now it's all vicious and eating people.
Yeah,
You know, this whole
yeah.
time I was thinking like, man, that salamander started growing fingers and stuff everywhere. But that is an axolotl.
Everywhere. Yeah. Yep. Okay, well, we have reviewed it, guys. This is our final score. It looks like we're somewhere around like a 6.3 or something like that. So yeah, not too bad for the first season of what is it called? Fallout. Fallout. There you go. But before we wrap this up, guys, we just had a great conversation about the entirety of the series. I wanted to present something to you that might change your scores. It might drop them. I don't know. But I'll have to show you guys something. Both of you are familiar with the show Westworld, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's perfect. I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page here because I have some information to share with you. And we'll see. Let me see here if I can bring this up on the screen. Gentlemen of the prestigious board, I present to you evidence that Fallout is no more than a reskinned Westworld.
Is Tandy Newton in it?
Tandy Newton is not in it. No. Uh, but I thought I hit the present button. Oh, that was going to be a great introduction. All right, let me try that again. This fucking thing. Come on, man.
Technology gonna technology.
It really is. I don't know
Almost
what
had
the heck
it.
is going on. Share screen.
It's wild.
Okay. Present. Share screen. Yes. It's not even giving me the opportunity to share my screen, so that's great.
Terrible.
Dude, what in the hell, man? Oh, you know why? It's because I think StreamYard is being so stupid right now. Hold on just one moment. Let's see if I can fix this.
Sketchy it is.
I know. All right, let's see what I can do here. Present. Dude, it's not letting me do it. This is the worst. Oh my god, I can't believe this. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. Hold on. Yeah, you guys just vamp for like literally 1 minute, and I'll do this a different way, so I don't have to share this screen. And then we'll restart this because this is supposed to be a clip for the show, and now I've gotten off to a terrible start, you guys, a terrible start.
It's all right.
That's all right.
None of us is gonna hold it against you. We might hold it against Keelan because why not?
Oh yeah, true.
It's all his fault.
Right. So do you guys have any idea about what you want to watch next?
Well, I saw that there is a horror movie that I was gonna probably check out that you guys might be interested in reviewing.
Oh yeah.
Was it Late Night with the Devil? It's
Okay.
on. What is it on? I think it's Netflix or Prime.
Yeah.
It's a horror movie that just came out. I think maybe a few days ago. But it's like Late Night with the Devil or Late Night with Evil. It's like a talk show where they're interviewing someone possessed by a demon.
Oh, okay.
A little girl, matter of fact.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll get the details to you guys because that's what I'm probably gonna either watch it tonight or maybe sometime this week.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you, Keelan? You got anything that you were looking forward to or about to watch?
Keelan's not even here anymore, man.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. I did not realize I was on mute that whole time. I'm over here like, oh man, that sounds interesting.
He's
Dang.
gone.
God. When I say I was not a part of that discussion at all. So
Yeah.
no, I personally don't have anything specific. If I'm being honest, between this and the NBA playoffs, I had plenty to watch this week. But I don't know. I've watched a few things, but nothing that I was really thinking of reviewing, which is the question.
Wait,
now,
who won to the Super Bowl?
That's funny. Now, for the record, Doom Part 2 is out.
Who?
Yeah,
Doom 2.
Yeah, it's been out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I didn't like Dune 1, so.
Hey.
I did, but honestly, I just don't have the motivation to care.
Right.
You don't want to find out nothing about the Scar Giver?
Not really.
No. Okay. Yes.
I mean, if you guys want to review it, we can. I'll dig back into it because I didn't dislike it. I just just moved on with my life.
I got a new movie.
Right. I was never a fan of the original either, even though it was decent enough. I mean, who doesn't like to see David Bowie do straight guy stuff?
Yikes.
Wow.
All right, I'm almost there. Thank you for bearing with me all.
I mean, I could watch him do Dark Crystal. Why not that?
Silly. So what I was going to say about what Nick's pulling up, I have a theory towards what it is that you're pulling up and how it all kind of connects.
Okay.
And
good.
that theory, now that I've sat and thought about it, and that theory kind of scratches out my theory of what they're going to go and do in this show, because you're essentially saying that Fallout is one of the other stages of Westworld. Like it's just another adventure because they go on all these different adventures.
Well, because there's a whole synth thing in Fallout, which is what Westworld is. Just synthetic people.
Yeah. You guys are being way too kind. I'm actually going in a slightly different direction, but you'll see in just 1 second. I'm almost burned up. I just have to upload each picture to StreamYard so that I could show you guys because for some reason my share screen feature is not working. So I just got a couple more to do, and then I will show you exactly what I mean. And then we'll have to hit that little marker, that ticker marker in movies so that we can start a click or clacker so we can start a new scene. All right.
You mean for copyright purposes?
No, just for clip purposes, because I wanted to put this together as a clip because I think a lot of people are talking about, Fallout still and how they enjoyed it. But I think that they need to know the reality of what is going on here with Fallout.
I
All right.
purposely avoided watching any reviews of it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right, gentlemen.
Fair.
We're gonna do this anew. I know that we just had a little bit of a vamp sesh, but I present to you, gentlemen of the board, for your consideration that Fallout is just a reskinned Westworld. And I will present to you now Exhibit A. Exhibit A, Lucy and Dolores, both bright-eyed, innocent, blue-wearing women who are naive about their world and then suddenly are faced with the truth and become warriors of vengeance and set
She can
out
shoot.
to. Huh?
She can shoot too.
She can shoot. Yes, she can. Dolores. Yeah, absolutely. But an uncanny resemblance here. Both characters are very innocent at the beginning. Both characters are under an illusion about what their world is. And both characters face a rude awakening that turns them vengeful. And that's exactly what we see with both of these characters. So that's Lucy / Dolores. But it gets better, guys. We want to keep on going here. And the next one is the Ghoul and the Man in Black. So when you said, Mike, that the Ghoul was playing the game on God mode, what does that remind you in Westworld? The Man in Black was playing on God mode in the entirety of Westworld. Both of them have no problem with carnage and doing what they have to do to seek their end result. They're both mysterious. They both have guns that seem supernatural, and they are both incredibly OP in the world that they are living in.
Right. And
Yeah.
they're trying to make the Ghoul seem like he's the villain, but he's really not the villain.
Oh, he's definitely not the villain. Remember in part
Right.
one, in our first review, I definitely said he was my favorite character because
Well,
they
and
want you to not like him because he's ugly. That's about it.
Yes. Well, and in Westworld, the Man in Black has a flashback story arc in the first season with the younger version of himself, just like the Ghoul has a flashback throughout the whole season of the younger version of his self. And it keeps going, guys. It keeps going. Next, I submit to you Maximus and Bernard Shaw.
I knew that
Both
was
men. Both
Token
men.
blacks.
Okay. Well, that's possible. But both men are working for the bad guys under the assumption or the naivete that they're doing something for the good. And they both figure out through the course of their experience in season 1 that they had been duped all along, and that what they were working for was an oppressive system, and they decide that they don't want to be a part of that system anymore.
And I shouldn't point out the blatant race issue here, right?
What is the race issue?
These naive Negroes is working for the man. Working hard at their 9 to 5, just trying to make ends meet.
Just trying to do right by their families, man.
Right.
Just can't catch a break. You can't catch a break.
Being duped and
Yeah.
It's funny because it is very clear they both really just want to be regular ass people, and it ain't working out.
No, it's definitely not working out for them. They're both
they both work for evil corporations.
Yes, exactly.
They are not evil. They are evil.
Right.
Evil. Yes. Well, speaking of the man, we have the next one here, which would be the dad and Anthony Hopkins. Both know the hidden architecture of everybody's fate and what is going on in the background, and both only decide to let that information go at the very end of the show.
I do believe that is Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Yes, that's right. Fair enough. Let me put some spec on his name. Sir Anthony Hopkins. Yes. A great man and a great actor. But both of these characters are sort of the ones that have all of the knowledge and don't necessarily give the knowledge out until the end of the show. So, and both are willing to do immoral things in order to push towards the better good. Sir Anthony Hopkins' character definitely was doing immoral things in order to open up Westworld, and Lucy's father obviously did many immoral things in order to keep the vault working.
Well, Sir Hopkins created robots that people have sex with.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
and
did.
rape.
Yeah.
and it's okay to do so because they're not
Yeah.
people.
Right. Right.
So I'm gonna just leave that right there. You can
Yeah.
infer from that whatever you like.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And the dad was a part of a corporation that kind of did the same thing to humans, except that they were humans. So there you go.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know that you guys are still reeling and maybe a little bit skeptical about my position that Fallout is just a reskinned Westworld. Next, guys,
No,
I
I kinda
present to
see
you.
Yeah.
I present to you the final blow, the kill shot, and that is Moldova and Tandy Newton.
More tokens.
The ones that knew the truth the entire time and create a resistance to free the people. Now, unlike Dolores, who is only seeking revenge in Westworld, Maeve wanted to free everybody of the illusion of Westworld and all of the robots, and she wanted to be like the liberator, like Neo from the Matrix, and sort of free everybody from their enslavement, much like Moldova, with wanting to free the enslavement of Vault-Tec and all the corporations. Both lead a resistance. Both are badasses with weaponry, and both are sort of instruments for revolution.
Yeah, I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care.
Why don't you care?
Because I just don't have the energy in me.
Oh, okay. I beat it
Yeah.
out of you. All right,
Yeah.
fair enough. Fair enough.
I can definitely see the parallels that you're making.
Mhm.
It's just what do you want me to do with it?
I don't know. I just wanted to present it to you guys because I think it's just the same show and it's created by the same creator. So I'm just saying that my point is that maybe Fallout isn't as good as everybody thinks it is. Maybe it's just a retread of Westworld.
I think a lot of these shows are exactly that. To be fair,
Maybe.
I'm still waiting for Hot D.
Oh my gosh, I'm not. And one bonus one. This is the bonus one here at the end. This is the brother Norm and Elsie Hughes, both unassuming, diminutive characters.
Same person.
Yes, that snoop around in the background to find the ultimate truth, and sort of are unassuming and a little bit meek, but ultimately they're the ones to sort of piece all of the information together and find out what's really.
No, I mean that's the same person, same face. Look at that. Same person.
It is the same person.
Damn.
DEI run amok. Look at that.
I feel
Yeah,
like
full-
you 80 pounds on him because that
Yeah.
looks skinny.
He is pretty thin. But yes, that's my presentation, gentlemen. I again present to you and tell you that Fallout is just a reskin of.
I believe it.
Yep, and it's created. Both are created by Jonathan Nolan. So there you go.
Oh
Is
yeah,
he-
they're all going to be for sure placed in one big universe, and we're going to find out later.
Is he related to Christopher?
He's his brother. Yeah,
See, there it is.
there it is.
That's why he keep getting work.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
No,
Right,
I shouldn't say that. Nepotism isn't real.
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not. All right, gents. Well, anything else that you want to say about this before we wrap this bad boy up?
You make good points on it being Westworld, and I now understand.
I think
West
that if they
Fallout.
were-
Yes.
West Fallout. I think if they were to kind of create a mini show about that aspect of it, and the two of them were connected, that would probably be a way more exciting show than this.
To
This
be
is a
honestly,
pretty decent
I
show.
kind of agree. If they made like synths and Delos, like the Delos from Westworld, the creators of the synths, I would kind of like that. I think that would be interesting.
Stop giving out free game.
Right. Yeah.
Make
right.
them pay you for your ideas.
Pay me.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to see next year or whenever season 2 comes out, but we shall indeed, and we shall be back later on this week or next week, whatever week it is. At some point, we're gonna be back. One of you guys has to choose a movie we watch, so I don't know.
Never.
I'm gonna have to fight to the death or flip a coin to figure out who does it. But yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday, guys. Probably, maybe. And if not, we'll be back a day after that, or maybe another day after that. So
Fact is,
always-
we'll be back.
Yeah. Point is, we'll be back. So make sure you hit that notification bell there on YouTube because that'll notify you and let you know when we're going to go live. And hit that thumbs up button and that subscribe button. It would really help us out. YouTube is severely punishing us because we only do live streams. So I'm going to have to cut up some clips for us to post because apparently you only get followers now if you have short clips that YouTube likes to put a ton of ads on. So we apologize in advance. But yes, there will be some clips, and I'm sure they'll have about 5 ads on a 10-minute clip. So yeah, you got that to look forward to. Anyways, thanks everybody. We really appreciate it. And we hope that you have a great night or whenever you're checking us out. We will be back soon. And until next time, for Screen Time Continuum, I am Nick.
I am Keelan.
And I'm Mike.
Night.
Matter of fact, I'm going to look into that and see where that's streaming at now.
I mean, you just watched Fallout. Why you want to stream it again?
I mean, what are you talking about? No, I'm talking about the other movie I